Hello everyone, named Jalise, the JJ Movie TV Social Game Reviews, everybody. And I want to give you my WWE video. Basically, what is the better WWE brand right now? Is it WWE Raw, WWE SmackDown, or WWE NXT? Now, this should be no surprise as NXT is better. One, it treats the men and women as equals. Their characters are treated with respect. Everyone gets a chance to shine. The promos are great. They don't do a whole bunch of advertising, and the wrestling ability is awesome. Now, why is it the best of this day and age? Is because Raw and SmackDown are crap right now. Here's the thing. I will always say this about Raw and SmackDown. For back in the days, Raw was always had a problem of always pushing stars, always building stars, in my opinion. Raw was like the main stage. Like, okay, all the big stars are there, but they never really grew their stars, in my opinion. SmackDown in the 2000s, they had Paul Heyman, they had great wrestlers. They had SmackDown, for me, I grew up with SmackDown age. SmackDown was my favorite brand back then. I love SmackDown for what it was. We had Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio, Undertaker, Edge, the SmackDown 6, Tori Wilson, the Cruiserweight division. There are so many great things about SmackDown in the old age, which was better than Raw, in my opinion. In many cases, I believe SmackDown was superior in Raw from a good amount of time. And where exactly did WWE screw up with Raw and SmackDown? Well, I wouldn't say it's exactly the PG-13 era, is because it's not a PG-13 era. It's not an era at all for the PG era, because this is not PG. This is rated E for everyone, in my opinion. I mean, they charter to the little kids. I mean, they just give into little kids for every single little campaign, for every single little details of their storylines of WWE. They don't really give full-blown great storylines. I mean, it really doesn't. It just ponders to the little kids and make it more E for everyone. This is not even PG-13. It's hardly a rating for PG-13 for the WWE right now. Right now, they're getting better, I give you that much, but NXT is whooping both Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown, they used to build their superstars up, and then they did the drafts, and then they went to Raw, then they became those champions, the League of the Celebrities. But with NXT is a lot like how SmackDown was back in the day. They're building up their superstars, but when they're doing all great things to NXT, WWE wants to draft them and bring them there. They have done shit with Cesaro. They are doing very little with Kevin Owens. They're not giving them enough, in my opinion, to be better. I mean, when they put them on the main rosters, they are doing terrible. Well, they're not doing terrible on SmackDown. They're just doing average, basically. But when they put them on Raw, they don't know how to build up these superstars on Raw. They don't know what to do with the NXT people. Remember that one girl, I forgot her freaking name. She was from NXT, then they brought her around, then she was just a valet for Santino Marella, and then she was just a valet for other, she was a manager valet for other characters, and Emma, yeah, that was her name, Emma. They didn't give her no chance to shine. She was great in NXT. They don't give the NXT women or men time to shine, in my opinion. Bayley's doing an awesome job on NXT. Sami Zayn got injured. And then there's so many, and Finn Balor's doing a good job right now, and they have Samoa Joe on NXT. It's doing great storytelling, great action, and it's a great wrestling ability. It's a great time to be in NXT. But when you go to the other brands, Raw and SmackDown, they can't do nothing. SmackDown hasn't been relevant for many freaking years just because Raw doesn't know what to do with it. I mean, WWE doesn't know what to do with that one. Raw is just basically buying Brock Lesnar part-timers, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker still around, staying in order to get their ratings up. They're not building their superstars. I say they're building up Roman Reigns a bit. They built Seth Rollins because they had to. Daniel Bryan got injured. They're not building up their future stars. As CM Punk once said, in order to create NHL players like the Blackhawks, need to play against other NHL teams and with their teammates in order to become NHL players. With WWE, they don't really do that for the stuff. It's just jobber after jobber match. They don't build up these characters. And when the people lose, they don't lose. So they don't gain nothing. Look at Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt has great wrestling promos. He's fantastic. But they keep putting him in these sucker matches where he just loses nearly all the time in his pay-per-views. And how do you build a character? This is the guy that's supposed to replace Undertaker and Kane. Why don't you build his character up more? Why don't you give him some wins? Why don't you give him some credibility? But WWE doesn't do that. WWE has failed in this market, in my opinion. They don't know how to build up their superstars. I don't think they ever knew how to build up their superstars on Raw, in my opinion, just because Raw had a lot of WCW, ECW people, because they were people known them from different wide-known companies. Right now, the only company that's competing against WWE is TNA, and they're taking some of the TNA stars, but they're older too. We need young blood. We need young, new, fresh blood. I hear they're trying to hire AJ Styles. That's good, but he's not as young as he used to be. He used to be the number one NXT guy. I mean, not NXT. From TNA. But overall, this whole WWE thing of the brands, it's no doubt about it. NXT is whooping SmackDown and Raw. Raw needs to really pick up the pace, really needs to build characters. They need to get SmackDown a different look and all, because I think they need to go back to old age SmackDown. If you really want WWE to help them, they need a brand extension. They need to have the draft. They need to have just Raw Superstars and SmackDown Superstars alike. Have two shows for them to shine. Right now, WWE is failing to grow their characters just because of so many things. They unified the world title. They unified basically the shows have Raw, SmackDown people. They could go on each show. But for SmackDown, you get to grow all those characters back then. Characters had chance to shine. Dolph Ziggler became champion technically on SmackDown when he was against Alberto Del Rio. And he lost Alberto Del Rio, but still, they had the moments to shine. With only one title, they're just going to put the character of who they want as a face. Dolph Ziggler will not be a world champion, in my opinion. I don't think so. Cesaro is getting a lot of love from the crowd. Vince McMahon doesn't want him. There's so many screwed up moments with WWE right now. It's just no doubt about it. NXT is way better than both of them. And I hate when NXT stars have to go to either Raw or SmackDown because WWE doesn't know what to do with them. So easily the best of the brands is NXT. I prefer SmackDown over Raw just because I respect SmackDown more for actually building up characters. With Raw, who did they really build up? Triple H, maybe? Oh, he's related to the boss's daughter. What else did you grow up with? I mean, where did Randy Orton start? SmackDown. Where did John Cena start? SmackDown. Where did Batista actually start? SmackDown with Devon, with the Old Testify. Granted, he got stronger in Raw. They built him up good in Raw, but they didn't really give him a good start. I mean, seriously. And he drive mostly on SmackDown after the draft with John Cena and Batista. You see, John Cena was doing great. He was doing awesome. Transfer him to Raw. Batista would build up for SmackDown. It was built up. He went to SmackDown. They want to build up. When Raw needs trouble, they need to build up their characters. They need something fresh and new. They take stuff from the SmackDown brand. That's what they used to do. But now they don't do that no more since the draft is no longer. So now they take people from NXT. They take people from NXT. They don't know what to do with them just to bring new blood in. No, it's a failing. WWE Raw and SmackDown are failing just because of the old ways that they said they need a change ASAP. NXT is great right now. I'm watching NXT mostly right now off of YouTube and so many other ones. But overall, WWE NXT is definitely the superior brand of Raw and SmackDown. So yeah, everyone, named Jalise, signing off everyone. Leave an opinion down below. Let me know. Leave respectful for your opinion. I'll respect yours, okay? Don't act like a stupid fucking idiot, okay? Don't leave stupid little comments, oh, you're gay, you're dumb, or insult me for no apparent reason and for me having an opinion. So please respect my opinion. I'll respect yours. Alright, everyone. My name's Jalise, signing off. Everyone, good day, everybody. Bye-bye.